Hello everyone. Hope you are doing great. Now, Gulliver in the Land of Lilliput is the continuation of the previous chapter, Gulliver's Travels. Now we will see what happens to Gulliver after he lands in the land of Lilliput. Now he was fast asleep as soon as he landed on the land. Let's find out what happens next. Before you read, did you like the story of Gulliver's travel in the previous chapter? Are you curious to find out what happens next? Read below and find about Gulliver's adventure where he was shipwrecked in a land of people who were only 6 inches tall. Now, can you imagine people 6 inches tall? So small, right? Now, over here, a word is coming shipwrecked. What does the word shipwrecked mean? Shipwrecked means left by a ship destroyed at sea. So, we already know that the ship in which Gulliver was traveling was already destroyed in the violent storm. I must have slept for about 9 hours, for when I woke up, it was daylight. I tried to get up, but I couldn't move. My arms and legs were tied to pegs fastened into the ground. Thin, strong cords were tied across my body and attached to pegs in the ground. My long hair was spread out and tied down in the same manner. Now, children, see, these are pegs. This is how pegs look like. And these are cords. Okay? So, Gulliver was tied with pegs and cords. Alright? So, his hair was also tied in the same manner. He slept on that island for almost 9 hours. Since it was daylight, he could understand that he was sleeping for a long time. All I could do was to stare upwards at the sun, blinking to ease the pain on my already strained eyes. Suddenly, I heard strange noises around me, but I couldn't move to find out what they were or where they are coming from. The next moment, I felt something alive moving on my leg. It progressed over my stomach and onto my chest. Stopping just below my chin, I lowered my eyes downwards as much as I could, hoping to see what sort of insect was crawling on me. Then I suddenly gasped. Why, it's a human creature, barely 6 inches tall. This creature had a bow and arrow in his hands and was followed by 40 more creatures like him. I was so surprised that I let out a frightful roar. All the creatures ran helter skelter and jumped off my body in terror. After some time, they gathered courage and climbed back onto my body. This time, one of them even clambered into my chin to get a closer look at me. He let out a screech of excitement. Hekina Deagle! Now see what happens. Now Gulliver was already in so much pain. His body was aching like anything. He could hardly see what was going around. So he tried to find out that what kind of noises are coming and from where. Next he saw that some creatures were climbing from his leg and then they came into his chest. Then somehow he managed to lift up his head and see that there were some small creatures, and they were humans, and they were only 6 inches tall. So small humans. What did Gulliver do then? Gulliver let out a frightful roar. He shouted out terribly. And all the creatures, what did they do? They ran over here and there and jumped off his body out of terror. So all of them got scared and they ran out from there. Again, somehow, after some time, they gathered some courage, and then again one person came towards his chin and then gave a screech of excitement, means a shout of excitement, and the word was Hekina Deagle. Hekina Deagle, repeated the crowd after him. I didn't give too much attention to their words. I was more concerned with setting myself free. By twisting and turning and pulling and pushing, I managed to pull out the pegs that were holding my left arm down. With one arm free, I was able to free my hair and turn my head to the right. There were cries of panic from the little creatures, and suddenly hundreds of tiny arrows hit my left hand, pricking me like hundreds of needles. When arrows began striking my face, I groaned with pain and raised my left hand to protect myself. They also started jabbing spears at my sides. Luckily for me, my jacket was thick and prevented me from getting severely injured. I thought to myself that the wisest thing to do would be to lie still until night. So I stopped struggling and the arrows stopped coming. But soon I heard another loud noise near my right ear. It was like a banging, like people at work. I turned as much as I could and saw about 50 of the creatures setting up a platform a foot and a half above the ground. Now, Gulliver was trying to set himself free. By turning left and right and pulling and pushing, he was trying to let himself free. Somehow, he pulled his left arm and it was free, and then with the help of his left arm, he set himself free from the cords and the pegs. By seeing this, that Lilliputs got very scared. Okay, and they started striking Gulliver with their bows and arrows, which was like needles to Gulliver. So Gulliver thought that it was best to keep quiet that night. Next morning he will find out what to do. Soon he again laid down. Next he heard one banging sound, and then when he opened his eyes and saw that they were setting up, constructing a platform half a foot above the ground. Soon 4 of them climbed up ladders and stood on the platform. In the middle was an important looking man. He made a long speech looking in my direction, and of course, I didn't understand a word of it. But I could tell from the tone of his voice that some words were threats, others promises, and still others reassurances. Especially when he pointed all around and repeated over and over, Lilliput, Lilliput. So I was in a place called Lilliput. Though I had never heard of such a country or seen it on a map, I tried to answer the important looking man and tell him that I was a friend and meant no harm. I even raised my eyes and hands to heaven to make my promise stronger. The last time I had eaten was hours before the ship sank. So I had to show these people that I was hungry. I did it by putting my fingers into my mouth as I spoke. The great Hargo. As I later learned, this important lord was called, understood my signs, and shouted out orders to the crowd below. 100 little people immediately placed ladders at my sides and climbed up on my body with baskets full of meat and bread, which they dumped into my mouth. This was the food that their emperor had ordered as soon as he had received word of my arrival. When I signaled that I was also thirsty, they rolled a barrel up a ladder and across my chest. Then they poured a delicious liquid that tasted like wine. But their barrel was only equal to a cup. And after they had given me a second barrel, they showed me that they had no more. I was grateful to these little creatures. They had treated me generously. Adapted from Gulliver's Travel by Jonathan Swift. Now, what happened? Four of those little creatures, including one important man, stood up on one platform. They climbed up the ladder and they stood on that platform which they made. Now the leader started talking in their own language. Gulliver did not understand a single word, but Gulliver could make out by the voice that some words were threats, some words were promises, and others were hopes or encouragements given by the leader. Now, Gulliver came to know that the place name is Lilliput, and he tried to answer that huge man, and he tried to tell that he was their friend and he meant no harm. He also tried to explain to him by showing gestures that he was hungry. Since Gulliver did not eat for a long time, so Gulliver was hungry. The huge man was known as Hargo, and he was the important lord of them. So, as soon as he came to know that Gulliver was hungry, he ordered his men to bring food for him, and soon all were busy trying to feed Gulliver. Baskets of meat and bread were brought and dropped in Gulliver's mouth. Gulliver was also thirsty. So, what did the Lilliput people do? They brought some wine in the barrels they have, and the size of the barrel was almost like the size of a cup for Gulliver. So, it did not quench the thirst of Gulliver, but he was very thankful to them. So, this was the story and the extract taken from Gulliver's Travel. Alright, I hope you have understood this story. Thank you.